The off-screen drama between actors Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni is now playing out in a Manhattan courtroom. Today's pretrial hearing comes as text messages between Lively and Taylor Swift were just made public.
And a topic discussed in today's proceeding, whether the music icon could take the stand. Alice Gaynor has more now from the federal courthouse in Lower Manhattan.
We all have an idea of what love can be.
I want to see you again.
Now you see me.
You know what I mean.
The celebrity lawsuit Hollywood can't stop talking about Hollywood is no stranger to drama, but every once in a while, a lawsuit comes along that completely takes over the industry. Not just because of who's involved, but because of what's being revealed. Behind the headlines, behind the polished red carpets, something much messier is unfolding. Private conversations are being dragged into the open. Business deals are being questioned, and reputations that took decades to build are suddenly at risk.
15 seconds. That's all it takes to completely change everything.
I'm so sorry.
What makes this case different isn't just the money or the fame, it's the silence breaking. And the deeper you look into it, the more you realize this isn't just a legal battle. It's a story that could change how Hollywood operates permanently. What's fueling the conversation around this celebrity lawsuit isn't just the legal filings, it's the sense that something normally hidden is being exposed in real time.
We often ask our young boys to make what I believe is a false choice between their masculinity and their humanity.
At the center of the attention is the ongoing legal conflict involving Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni, tied to the production and promotion of the film It Ends With Us. On the surface, it might seem like a standard dispute tied to a major film project, but as more details have surfaced, it's become clear that the issues go far beyond contracts or creative disagreements. The case reportedly involves allegations connected to on-set conduct, production decisions, and communication breakdowns that escalated over time. While exact claims and counterclaims are being handled through legal channels,
A week ago that both Blake and Justin were ready to go to trial. Everybody was ramping up. What changed?
The judge ruled that 10 out of the 13 claims were thrown out of the case. And amongst those claims were not only defamation claims and things like that, but amongst those claims were sexual harassment claims.
what has reached the public suggests a complicated environment behind the scenes. One where expectations, authority, and professional boundaries may not have aligned. And that's where things start to get uncomfortable, because Hollywood productions are built on collaboration, but also hierarchy. Directors, producers, and lead actors all operate with different kinds of influence. When those roles overlap, as they sometimes do, it can blur lines in ways that aren't always obvious until something goes wrong. In this situation, that overlap appears to have played a role. Baldoni wasn't just an actor connected to the project. He was also directing and heavily involved in shaping its direction. Meanwhile, Lively, as a lead figure in the film, carried significant creative and commercial weight. When tensions develop in that kind of structure, they don't stay small for long. Reports suggest that disagreements may have started with creative direction. How certain scenes should be handled, how characters should be portrayed, and how sensitive themes from the original story should translate on screen.
Somebody who represented love and beauty and youth and hard work and determination and strength, and she was in touch with her sexuality and her delicacy, and she just sort of represented it all. And telling her own story the way she did and the way she's about to with her biopic, it just I don't know, this Britney has just meant so much to me forever. I'm a forever Britney stan.
But over time, those disagreements reportedly expanded into broader concerns about communication and decision-making authority. And once legal action enters the picture, everything changes. Private conversations become evidence, internal discussions become public narratives, and every detail, no matter how small, can be reinterpreted through a legal lens. That's one of the main reasons this case has captured so much attention. It's not just about who's right or wrong, it's about how much of the filmmaking process is now being exposed. Another layer to this story is the source material itself. Colleen Hoover's novel, which the film is based on, deals with themes that are already emotionally complex and socially sensitive. Adapting that kind of story comes with pressure, not just to entertain, but to handle the subject responsibly. That pressure can amplify tensions behind the scenes, because when a project carries both commercial expectations and emotional weight, disagreements aren't just technical, they become personal. And when those personal disagreements evolve into legal disputes, the entire narrative shifts. What might have been resolved quietly in another context now becomes something much larger. Something that draws in public opinion, media coverage, and industry scrutiny. There's also a timing factor that's impossible to ignore. Hollywood, as an industry, is currently under increased scrutiny when it comes to workplace dynamics, power structures, and accountability. In recent years, there's been a growing expectation that issues behind the scenes should be addressed more transparently. That means cases like this don't just stay within legal documents. They become part of a broader conversation.
No, you go ahead. I need to take it in from here.
I was hoping you'd say that, okay? Oh my God.
And that's exactly what's happening here. People aren't just watching this lawsuit unfold, they're analyzing what it represents. Is this a case of creative conflict escalating too far? A breakdown in professional boundaries? Or something that points to deeper structural issues within the industry? At this stage, there are no final answers, only competing narratives, each supported by its own interpretation of events. But one thing is certain, this isn't just another Hollywood disagreement. It's a situation where every new development adds another layer of complexity, and where the full story is still far from clear. As the spotlight continues to intensify, what's really keeping this story alive isn't a single incident.
The legal battle we've been paying a close eye on, this is between former co-stars Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni.
Do you plan to sue Blake Lively?
Absolutely.
It's the ripple effect of everything happening around it. This is no longer about one moment behind the scenes. It's about perception, influence, and how quickly narratives can shift in Hollywood. At the center of it all are Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni, two figures who until recently were associated with very different public images. Lively has long been seen as polished, controlled, and brand-conscious, someone who carefully curates what the audience sees. Baldoni, on the other hand, built a reputation around emotionally driven storytelling and socially aware messaging. Now, those carefully shaped identities are being viewed through a completely different lens. What's fascinating is how quickly public perception can evolve. In Hollywood, image isn't just important.
Let me just say, that was a tough show to film. I didn't end up actually filming all of the episodes I was supposed to.
Literally, you said, get me out of this.
It was also like, get him out of here.
Whose love interest were you?
Blake Lively's love interest.
You were?
Yeah.
Okay, well
Sounds
then.
like she was the problem.
It sure does, Chelsea.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
It's everything. Careers are often built on consistency, relatability, and trust. But when something disrupts that balance, even slightly, it creates a kind of curiosity that spreads fast. And that curiosity is exactly what's driving attention right now. People aren't just reacting to headlines, they're analyzing behavior, interviews, past statements, social media activity, even silence itself. Everything is being re-examined. Moments that once seemed ordinary are now being interpreted in new ways, as if the audience is trying to piece together a larger, hidden narrative. That's where things start to feel different from typical celebrity drama. Because this isn't loud or chaotic on the surface, it's subtle. It's in what's not being said, in the way appearances are handled, in how certain topics are avoided rather than addressed. And sometimes, that kind of silence creates more tension than any direct statement ever could. Another reason this story continues to hold attention is the nature of the project that connects them. It ends with us. The film itself carries emotion.
Everything went as expected, and hope you guys have a nice day.
Hey, Justin, how are you doing?
How are you feeling? Are you guys feeling good about it?
Nice and cold, nice and cold.
Weight based on a story that deals with sensitive and deeply personal themes. When a project like that is involved, audiences expect a certain level of authenticity, not just on screen, but from the people bringing it to life. So when something feels slightly off, even if it's not clearly defined, it becomes noticeable. Viewers start asking questions. Are the dynamics behind the scenes aligned with the message of the story? Do the people involved genuinely reflect what the project represents? Or is there a disconnect that isn't being openly discussed? These questions don't always have clear answers, but they don't need to, because in today's media environment, speculation alone is enough to keep a story circulating. There's also a broader shift happening in how audiences engage with celebrity culture. People are no longer satisfied with surface-level narratives. They want context, they want authenticity, and most importantly, they want to understand what's real and what's carefully presented. That shift changes everything. It means that even without direct statements or confirmed details, a story can grow simply through observation and interpretation. And when that happens, it becomes less about facts and more about how those facts are perceived. And perception, especially in Hollywood, can be just as powerful as reality. What makes this situation especially compelling is how unresolved it feels. There's no clear beginning, middle, or end. Just a series of moments that don't quite connect in a straightforward way. That lack of clarity creates a kind of tension that keeps people watching, waiting for something that might explain it all. But sometimes, that explanation never fully comes. And maybe that's why this story continues to dominate attention. Not because it's explosive, but because it's uncertain, because it leaves space for interpretation, because it invites questions without giving answers, and because it reveals how quickly even the most controlled narratives can shift under pressure. In the end, this isn't just about two individuals or a single project. It's about how stories are shaped, how perceptions are formed, and how
To completely change everything.
I'm so sorry.
How easily the spotlight can turn, even when no one is speaking directly into it. If you found this perspective interesting and want more deep, thought-provoking breakdowns like this, make sure to like the video, share it with someone who follows Hollywood closely, and subscribe to the channel, because the next story might not just raise questions, it might completely change how you see the industry.